friends, as we enjoy the Easter break, it is time for us to take you into another dimension. Yes, Easter break, parents will have the notion that this is a time for their children to rest. But no, we are bringing to you inside our schools this day on a different dimension, telling you how should the children be engaged as far as this Easter break is concerned. It is 2 weeks, yet very important for the formation and the growth of that particular child you are keeping at home. It's better you engage that child in something. This is Inside Our School on DMR TV Radio, broadcasting live from the foot of Mount Fako here in Buea. DMR TV, a Divine Mercy Television Radio of the Diocese of Buea. My name is Hilarion Clinton Adianko, and in today's edition, we shall be looking, as you can see on your screen, we shall be looking at exactly how to engage learners within this Easter break. Easter break, as I earlier said, it is 2 weeks, but the 2 weeks, it is not as short as you might be able to assume. The 2 weeks is very pertinent for the growth and progress of that particular child at home. So, in this edition of Inside Our School, you get to know how to engage these children at home. Now, we are being joined by Coach Emi Mbela Efoso. He is a very dynamic figure when it comes to the domain of engaging the learners as far as this holiday period is concerned. Not just that. And just to tell you that as far as the Kali University Institute of Buea Secondary School and as well as the primary school, he is one of the spearheaded people. He is one of the leaders of the program, the entrepreneurship package, as far as those institutions is concerned. We should also be thinking about the Word of Kali School. He was in charge of the technical committee as far as the organization of the Word of Kali School is concerned. We are being joined by him this evening. It is a pleasure having you, Coach Emi Mbela.
Good evening, Mr. Hilarion. Good evening, televiewers. Good evening, everybody who is on the screen.
We shall be talking today about how to engage learners, and this is very pertinent as far as your field is concerned.
Yes, I am so delighted to be so involved in activities of extracurricular activity that in recent times we prefer call it co-curricular activity, because it's part of a full part of learning that goes on with hands-on entrepreneurship alongside abilities and skills. I think we are on the side where we promote these activities very much, because in recent times we believe our children have limited themselves from play due to the realities of our times, and then with other activities that our parents had enjoyed when they were younger. So we at that time we all minimized what we did as play and other activities. Rather, this time we exempted our children from it, and it's becoming challenging. So we've decided to run these activities in forms of centers and groups.
Tell us, this is just a package you're unveiling as far as this program is concerned. Now, before we get into what you do, this is the Easter period. If you are supposed to be talking to a parent, what would be that word that you'll be talking with a parent as far as this break is concerned?
The first thing is that I will engage the parents who say when the children come back on holiday, they will ensure that when they get up from bed, they must make up their beds. Start from small things. The second thing I would like the parents understand is that if there's a possibility for them to get up early in that morning and go for Station of the Cross, it's a necessity. This is the Easter break. Before now, we can start searching out for other activities that will enhance their development. I would like to say, we often think that at this point, that pikin don't go school plenty, may go rest small. And the time you give me rest, the energy and the force to the increase. So it was just good for you to give him some activity that the rest can take place, but the brain is still very active. So that is what we perceive for this period of time, and we ambitiously feel should be taken care of. And furthermore, we noticed also that oftentimes when these children come out from holiday, they stroll. They are always from one friend to the other, and
cause tension between families sometimes.
Sometimes, and then at one point in time, they wouldn't know when. Like somebody said, one lady said today in one educative talk, and she said, it's not because the children like to be where they are. Mm-hmm. It's because circumstances has placed them. They came the first time they saw. They came the second time, they realized. The third time they tried, and the fourth time they are involved. So we struggle to reduce the number of times that they will be coming to get involved.
Thank you very much, Coach Mimbella. If you are just joining in, this is Inside Our Schools. Inside Our Schools, DMR TV radio and television. And of course, this day, April 8th, we're talking about how to engage learners within this holiday period. If you're just tuning in, please stay with us as we'll be riding on with this interesting program. Coach Mimbella, before we come to you, let's get into animations. We shall be getting practically what you have been doing so far as this holiday period is concerned. If our broadcaster is ready, let's have this video clip.
Good. Now everybody follow me again with your ball. Standing on another line. Everybody make sure you stand on the line. The line is long enough. The line is long enough. Fresh, shift up, shift up, shift up. Kala, there's enough space. Stand. Alright, now we are on another position. Which position is this, guys? Everybody say the sideline.
The sideline.
The sideline.
The sideline.
The side.
Line.
The side.
Line.
Which is the line on the sides of the field. How many lines do we know now? The first one is
Middle line.
the middle line. The second one is
The baseline.
the third one is
The sideline.
the side. Alright, this is another line. Who knows the name of this line? Who can try? Larry, put your hand down. Who can try? The new people, who can try the name of this line? Everybody say the free throw line.
The free throw line.
The free throw line.
The free throw
You know,
line.
as in football, when they give somebody penalty, when they put it and kick, right? In basketball, we call it free throw. That means when you stand on this line to shoot when a foul has been committed, nobody is defending you. You stand on this line and you shoot the ball to the ring. That is why it's called a free throw line. Everybody again, free throw line. Say it.
The free throw line.
Okay, that's good. Bounce the ball. When we get the whistle now, jump stop. See what I'm going to do. Have you seen that? I just want to see you do that. Then I will tell you what you are doing. Is it okay? Yes. Ready?
You people are all welcome to the Regional Multipurpose Youth Empowerment Center on this very important program that has been championed by our partner, the Volcanic Warriors, RADA, and all other partners that have invested in terms of material and other resources for people to have the best. Here at the regional center, it is called a youth center because it is your home. People are young people. This is where you have the right training that you need. So concentrate, and during the long holidays, we'll continue the program. So this is just an introductory part of it. So you are welcome. Enjoy your stay here. I think from time to time, we'll have our normal aerobics so that the children can dance, enjoy inside our big hall.
Mr. Director.
Normal. There's music, there are other things. I think parents that have not seize the opportunity and send their children. I don't see what the children should be doing in the house for 2 weeks. While they are thinking that they've learned. I think even next time the motor mechanics, tailoring, all the other branches will be added, so that we'll have holistic young people that are trained in all the fields and ready to take part in the development of this our Cameroon.
It should also be just like a picture, okay? A picture of your choice. So that when you're using your computer, you always see that picture, yes?
Just to decorate the screen.
To decorate the screen. Good. Now, we are looking at our desktop again. There are so many things we can add to our desktop, okay? We can create a lot of files and add to our desktop. And we can create a lot of folders. But now I want to ask you a question. What's a file? Well, understand. You say a folder is supposed to post. Don't really sit down. Let me tell you something. Look at a file can be stored in a folder. A folder is a container for files and other folders. Are we together? Open that folder that you created. Let me show you something. Open the folder.
To view items on the computer.
To view items on the computer. Clap for that, my friend. Yeah, we have the first staff clapping. That's good. Like this. So a monitor is used to view items on the computer. You see letters and numbers. You see letter A, you see different letters and you see numbers, right? My friend, you want to look? Don't bother, you will come back. So this area you call the alphanumeric because they have letters and numbers. So we call them what?
Alphanumeric.
Alphanumeric keypad. Alphanumeric. Alphanumeric keypad. Let's repeat after me. Alphanumeric keypad. Say alphanumeric keypad.
When next I'm coming, I'll bring a post that I will show you people the difference between healthy lungs and lungs which have been smoking. You see the lungs, they are black very soon. You start having some type of cough. You are coughing out blood. How did it come about? It's smoke that you have been inhaling, the smoke. That cigarette contains nicotine and other toxic substances which are very, very dangerous. So I will advise you people, if you are beside somebody that is smoking, there are sometimes that smoking does more harm to the person who is beside than the person who is actually smoking it. Because if you are not used to, the person has already been used to, the person has been doing it over and over and over again until the lungs are already okay with it that this person is a smoker. Then you are innocent, your innocent lungs have never seen nicotine before. Then now as the person is smoking, as you are inhaling the smoke, it's still causing damage to you. So avoid being beside people who are smoking. If you're seated here, then somebody is seated beside you and the person is smoking, you can tell the person, uncle, please, I don't feel comfortable with the smoke. Question.
But I see sometimes I like to see children that are taking chalk and putting the palm, blowing the chalk out.
Okay, children is that one happens mostly in school. So people who blow chalk or some children they chew chalk. Do you know before that chalk is writing on the board, do you think they just go and it's a natural something that they just go and carry somewhere and just come and start writing on the board? Chalk is being manufactured. Before you see it is in a fine form. They actually mix a lot of chemicals before they produce chalk. And so if you are eating the chalk, do you think everybody, if chalk was actually edible, why is it that everybody is not eating it? Why is it that they're not sharing it in class with people?
That is just a video clip as far as the activities within this Easter break is concerned, spearheaded by the person we have on set here, Coach Emimbela. Coach Emimbela, a very good content that we are seeing there. Now, I want to first of all come back to you. That is just the first day of the session. I want to find out from you, what is this package all about and what inspired you?
Mr. Larion, I have a passion for children because I struggle to make the corrections that I didn't succeed to do when I was a child, and that at one point in time I aspire to have done them, but could not have that opportunity to do. And then number two, I have been privileged to be given exposure in different countries on issues. And when I go there, I don't go with my eyes closed. I follow every minute step that I'm given to ASPE, what we go to do there. And sometimes when I see what is being carried out in a nursery school in another country, I wonder what we are still doing in our own country when it comes to our children. So I felt that. And number two, I often ask this question to me, that why should I grumble and complain if I can also do my own small? I remember one of my teachers told me, the essence is not the number. The essence is impact one. It will bring many. And I remember one book written by one great legend, Mr. Roland Kweme. He said, the power of one. And I used those criteria to come up with such a project. And when I come, sometimes when I sit, my wife used to say, maybe when you sleep also, you keep thinking. Because when I get up, I just get to my table and write what I was inspired about. And sometimes I move on the road and I take every minute information. And then when I see things, I struggle to convert them to my own way of thinking. That is how you see these things come up. And I'm so familiar in the milieu of children and students. So I see the realities, and moreover, I'm a professional in youth and action counseling. And I use this combined as a basketball coach to come with such ideas. And I am so passionate for it. And with the passion, I discover that each time I make a step, before the next step, I have more than 1,000 options. So if I had stood on one place, I'll never be where we are today. So that is what has prompted me. And I would like to tell you, we have so many persons who are working with us. And that will come to what I want to say today, that we don't train just the children. Those who feel they like this concept and want to learn what we are doing can also come for the training sessions. And that is what we do. Most of the people around, or you can see Eric teaching. Eric started teaching with me for quite a while. And to work with me often is really challenging, because I will not want to say I'm very meticulous in setting a situation that when you have to deviate it a little, I'll call you back as fast as possible. And Eric has persevered with me for long, and what he does, sometimes I'm amazed. When he was teaching those kids I watched, I didn't see myself to have introduced a basketball court to those children the way Eric had done it. It therefore means the more you get closer to people, the more you get exposure, the more realistic you become. And sometimes when I see my facilitators carry out activities, I wonder if I could. I might initiate it, but the implementation is becoming different. But there's one thing I always insist on them. Don't teach this child like he was taught in the classroom. Then there is no difference with him. They should not bring them here. Let the child touch. Let all our activities be a touching activity. Tactile, the sense of touch. They have already used their eyes in their classrooms. They have been using their ears, and they have been writing. This time, let them themselves do. Let them do. So sometimes, even when we are in school, for instance, in the Catholic University, we'll carry out those projects, and I'm going around from one class to the other. I'm always going to say, Madam, excuse me. I call her out and say, Madam, you are still preaching. The teacher has already been preaching. You have not come here to do the same. Then there's no difference. It was better to leave the teacher. You are supposed to make sure that the children are touching. And that is what makes our program different. And Mr. Hilarion, I also looked at something and said, the artificial intelligence is too much on computer. And I said, but why don't we initiate? If you watch well, one of the videos contains children in nursery schools. And oftentimes we parents believe that when we send them to such places, they will not learn. I wonder who said so. The ability, psychologists believe in different forms that the child learns from his environment. Mm-hmm. He learns from what he sees. Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you, I have a computer at home. And I want to avoid my children to destroy my computer. And the only way I think my computer can be salvaged is for them to go and study what computer is all about. And all of us use our computer mutually. Mm-hmm. Now they'll use it now with some level of
not
care.
giving them an embargo that don't touch. Somebody will see me trying to touch.
By the time you attend, the child don't. So sometimes I even take screwdriver, hammers. I expose them to them. But I call their attention. Oh man, that nail you are hitting like that, there are risks there. Mm-hmm. You might hit the hammer and hit you. And if you hit him, I say, the thing hit you here. When he cries, I say that's part of the game. we have to give them that privilege, but make sure we are orientating them how it goes. So most of these things start first at my home before I export them outside, because I'd like to first experiment to see how effective and efficient they can take. And in subsequent times, we're going to have our strongness. Mr. Kongwato is coming to teach the children health care, how to care for the body, how to choose food.
I was just about asking you the package as far as this program for this period is concerned. This is just 2 weeks break. People will see that it is too short, but tell us, what is the package? How do you categorize it? Health, sport, computer lessons, and all the like?
Yes, Mr. Lyron, there's nothing too short. Sometimes we always get everything towards perfection, but I believe that there's no perfection without introduction. So we might use these weeks for an introductory phase to challenge the brains of the children. Who knows what will come out from the ones who are fast in calculation and thinking. So what are we doing? For instance, you saw today, we respected the flag. Before we came to the flag, we had orientated them what the flag was. Was an emblem, a national emblem, very important. That has to be given respect. And all of us went. And before then, after the orientation, we now all went and sang the anthem.
The anthem which many people today cannot
sing well. And the children, I was surprised, they could go flow with the anthem. And when we finished with the anthem, before then they had their morning devotion. When they come, they have morning devotion. We have some 2 great women there who are very strong there, and they are making sure things are in order. And nowadays, I'm no longer as active as I am. I now observe the people who are working. It should not be me, or I, and I. It should be something that we are living. And we have noticed in recent times also that the children who started teaching before, most of them now are also teaching the others. So what are we doing now? We don't go in now again for facilitators. The children now themselves now studying what to do. They start teaching each other. And we started this like a joke, and it's building itself. And what do we have as package? For instance, today after the anthem, then some children went to computer while others were in basketball. And we noticed that our ambition was that they have computer for 1 hour. But today the computer class took us 2 hours, 30 minutes. Our program was supposed to be starting at 9 a.m. but we had to shift it at 8. But before we could notice, it's already 1 p.m. that we've not even touched half of what we did. But the children had gone and they have studied. What again we did again, we brought every day we want to bring somebody to give them what we call educative talk. Today we had a Lesa who gave them information on mental health. And I was so impressed the way she orientated the children. And when I called my 2 ladies who are very in charge or close to the program, and they told me that lady can really talk and she has mastery on her content and can fit it with the age range that she was discussing with. You had an extract there. She was presenting drugs, smoking. But before then, she has given a plethora of, she went even on sexual harassment and the rest, sex and the rest. She touched so many topics for those children. Told them how they have to move on the road. In less than 1 hour, she has touched a variety. And one of the children responded during the class and said, "Madam, hopefully you have to come next time. Because your topic has been so sensitive and we have learned a lot." You see, these are the things we minimize. So we have decided that every day from 11 a.m. to approximately 12 midday, we shall have educative talk. And furthermore, as I was saying, we also went further. We took them for basketball. And in subsequent time, we'll be having Mr. Kongwato who come also to teach them body health. And on Friday, we shall have a friendly football match. And there are some of my young basketball players who are today out of this country. I will acknowledge them, Mr. Honoratus Me in the US and Mr. Yannick Macaulay. I taught them basketball in Bishop Program. They supported this project by offering bags and beeps to every child who will participate for this activity. And then we also have the computer lab you find there, belongs to one young man, Mr. Mbela, a very young man. And he offered the computer lab for these children to train during this holiday. And it's very standard. You can see, we don't take more than 20 children inside at a given time. The first 20 goes, and then they rotate. That is what we've been doing. Mr. Laro, we are just all trying as a way to improve on our community with the present challenges. I don't think ours must be the best, but we should not give up. Let's even give the little we have.
This is all about trying to fit into the context of leaving these children not idle as far as this break is concerned. So now, tell us, what can you be telling the parents now that you have this package available?
The parent, well, what happened is that with the parents, we communicated through our flyers, through WhatsApp and a host of different platforms. And the parents used to ask, Coach, what is your ambition? And what happened, why my programs sometimes are so interesting is because we do not teach the children in isolation. The parents are fully involved. There is a time we invite all the parents to come and join us during the programs. For instance, this morning when they come, every parent who comes to drop a kid, we make sure he sees every hall the child is going to enter and the activities that are going to be run in that hall, so that they build confidence and know where their children are. So that is what we do. So even with the parents, we don't do too much explanation, we do a lot of action. And when they come to take their children, we do it such that they must come to collect the child inside the hall where the children are learning, so that they too can appreciate by giving us their own observations in order for us to improve. And if we are improving today every single day, it's not because we are the best. It's because we get the feedback from the parents, we get the feedback from the children, and we struggle to ameliorate to meet present day challenges. And Mr. Hilarion, I would like also to say, this program we have this program also at the Central Prison in Boya. Yes, that is running presently. The balls have been sent. Theirs is more of basketball. We are building a Volcanic Warriors basketball club at the Central Prison in Boya. We have one of the inmates who has been so industrious in the formation of basketball. I think we started this project about 2 years or 3 years back, and about one of the inmates are out. The young man is out and is part of us. And you see, we can help people through our activities, and we give them balls. We ensure we give them, for instance, I have like the beeps we had. Some of them have to go to the Central Prison, and we are looking for a day when I'll take some of those kids along. We go there to hand over to the kids or children who are also there, and or the minors as they are called, and others who are interested in basketball. And a few days ago, I sent some balls to there to facilitate our collaborators down there to make things get better. And I think that's the little we can offer in our community.
Thank you very much, Coach Emin Belai. And of course, if you are just joining this at a platform now, this is Inside Our Schools on DML TV of the Diocese of Boyal. Inside Our School is that package that we talk to you about students' life happening in our schools as well. This is holiday periods. We are just trying to tell you how better you can engage these learners at home. Don't feel as if it is time for them to rest. They have been learning for so long that no, let them rest. Engage them somehow in something different that is out of the classroom. We have been joined on the panel this day by one of us who is also a teacher by profession at CUIB Entrepreneurial High School in Moliko, a mathematics teacher dealing with figures. I'm talking about Mr. Brian, if I'm right.
Yes.
It is a pleasure having you on set.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Brian, tell us more about yourself. Let's get to know you.
So I am a mathematics teacher at CUIB, currently the head of department for that sector.
Okay.
So I've been there for 5 years now.
Which means one of your subjects is quite a hard nut to crack when you want to initiate as far as student life is concerned. Sure. Tell us, this is holiday periods. What do you think is the best way for teachers, for parents now? Out of classroom, what is it best that these parents can now engage their children in? Mathematics is hard, other subjects as well. Should it be a period for them to cover up? Should it be a period for them to engage in other activities, hands-on activities?
Yes, so I think looking at the economy of our country now, you would need to have both a skill and
the
academics and knowledge. You can't do without the degrees. Neither can you do without a skill in hand. Like I, for one, I think I studied something else, but one of the skills I acquired was teaching. So every student needs, in as much as the certificate is of great importance, but the skills such as cooking, the skills such as programming, which I'm also into, it's very, very vital for the holistic upbringing of a child to secure a job, especially in our nation today.
You are part of an association or a body that also runs a holiday program, which is more of practically hands-on skills on computers and all the like.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So our program runs on, it's not just about the educational aspect.
Okay.
We have 2 days for the educational aspects, academics, maths, history, and further maths, additional maths, to improve the child's academic aspect. And we also have skills for 2 days. Skills such as we have a cooking program which runs where students are able to learn things such as pastries. They can do cakes. You know, today we have birthdays, anniversaries, getting students much more versed with skills like that. And we have other aspects such as computer programming sessions where students are able to get into websites, build websites. Students are able to program robots, kits, and the rest, like what they did last year. And we also have programs including music.
Okay.
You know, youths these days are slowly diving towards music. We have them admiring people such as Davido, influencing even their lifestyle. And we believe if kids can exploit their talents, it will be able to enhance our society in a positive way.
Exploring talent, this is just 2 weeks break and we're talking about exploring talent. Parents likewise will not want to maybe engage. What is the response when we come to exploring talents within this short period of time?
Now, exploring talents within this short period of time at times could be challenging because enhancing your talent takes time. It takes time. That's why we usually run this program during the 3rd term holidays, where the kids have a 2 to 3 months period to build something useful, something which could help them earn in the society.
Okay. You don't believe in introduction before getting to the concrete program?
Introduction is good. It is good, but at times some parents, due to financial constraint, you find it being a lot of a problem.
Okay. If you're just tuning in as far as this program is concerned, Inside Our School, this particular day, the 8th of April 2025, is talking about how to engage learners within this Easter break. Easter break, 2 weeks, and of course, with some days left out as part of celebrations are the death of Christ and the Passion of Christ. Should we also be talking about Holy Saturday as well as Easter Sunday? This is just the program we are unveiling to you. What should you do as far as this period is concerned? Should it be a period for you to say, my child, come, let's relax, come, let's watch television, download one movie from one other to tell your child that it is time for you to enjoy? Should it be a period for you to take your children to seme, maybe if time of maybe outing and all the like? But should it also be a period for you to engage them in something practical, hands-on skills? This is just the different options we're presenting to you, and it's still left for you to decide as far as this session of today is concerned. If you're joining us now, it's Inside Our School, as I earlier said, and so Coach Mimbela will be coming back to you. This period, you already running out this program for this short period. You have some few days left in. What is, are the doors open for these children who will be coming in?
Yes. We envisaged, one, we re-intended this program to be free for the community because we have this tendency to say, let's a child not be there because of his financial challenges due to parental financial challenge. We are very open to everyone, no matter your state. But we also struggle oftentimes to request for financial assistance. And what we did was that we anticipated 500 francs per day per child so that we can get 5,000 in 10 days to support the facilitators who will be coming to disperse knowledge. But this notwithstanding, we are still very open to all those who are financially hardened and to see. But gradually also, Mr. Hilarion, like I earlier told you, we had a non-governmental organization, Pepi Test, that they have been collaborated alongside with the French embassy in Cameroon. They have programs all over Yaoundé and Douala. And when they saw most of our projects in Buea, they lent out their hand to us. So gradually we are going whereby students will be given scholarships to do different activities. Like my learned colleague is saying there, cookery, pastry. And these guys often go to government institutions like the Youth and Animation Center or the Women Empowerment Center. And that is what was done in Bangante. It's being carried out now in Yaoundé and Douala, and Buea has been the next city. And for instance, as I'm talking to you, we are privileged to have 2 of our students being sponsored by Pepites to study sports at INGS. And next year we'll be anticipating for 4 or 6 more of our children from Buea for more scholarships. I think I was privileged to fall to that project, and we are fully involved with it now. And the project goes alongside whereby we look for vulnerable children, we look for those who have challenges. They are giving scholarships to study hands-on activity. And so, as I'm saying that, like I earlier said, there is no day that is in one day, Mr. Hilaron. With my experience I've gained is that even in one day you can transform a child. In the issue, the way I see it is that is the information that is given to the child in that instant that can change his mentality forever. Because I'm also a case study. When we are teaching these children, I've noticed that I'm the biggest student. Each time we are teaching them, I learn a lot, and I see more than 1,000 scenarios in the midst of these children, and sometimes I'm alarmed. And then I start smiling consistently. You don't know why I am smiling. Because what is hidden in these children, they themselves who carry it don't see it. If you have not gone close to teach a child, you don't know how amazing that exercise is.
Amazing. Does this mean the challenges are not forthcoming when you engage with these children?
Everything in the child development is a learning process. So I would not want to call the process a challenge, because just bringing all these children together is for me to learn something new. Whatever happens, I should be getting solution-orientated instead of problem-seeking. Mm-hmm. And every day we have to pray so that we make the best out of ourselves. And that is exactly what we are doing. As I'm saying now, this morning I learned a lot again from the kids. When Mr. Eric was teaching them, I was sitting outside. And every exercise they did and any question he asked, or even during the computer class, I am the one who always instigates my colleagues or insists to them that nobody should keep a child out no matter his age or class. If you are in nursery school, allow that child to go to the computer lab. Let her sit on that computer and do what the senior man in secondary school is doing. And amazingly, everybody who works close with us, or we are working closer, have seen it that it's working. There was a time I even told my colleague, we can teach these children piano. He shouted, he can't walk. They are too young. Behold, when that exercise started, these children catch it up. Mm-hmm. My dear, please, these children, they are amazing. I used to say they have a container of intelligence that is unexploited, that just need to be orientated for them to become the best.
Mr. Brian, I want to come to you. Let's find out from you. Within these periods of organizing such programs for these children, how should you make it, or how do you make it engaging for the children that they always feel as if they anticipate to come the following day? It should not be the one that I come today and I feel like, Mama, I'm not going back there. What is the anticipation that you put within these kids?
Now, with these kids, there are several things we do during the holiday program. For instance, we take them for trips. Now, there are trips, like last year, we took them for a trip, showed them, especially those that were doing history. We took them to Bimbia, showed them the Slave Trade Center. Mm-hmm. They had a tour around Limbe. Some went to the zoo. Those doing biology, they could have a view where life came from. Some were studying Charles Darwin's theory on evolution, and they could picture those things and really, and also some of them were also heavily engaged into robotics, which made it very, very engaging for them. You know, youths these days, they love trips, they love going out, and they were so excited. Those who performed extremely well, for instance, in conduct and academics, they were taking, some were gifted things, and the rest as forms of motivation for them.
What are the biggest challenges of running this program for you? Let's find out from you.
Now, one of the biggest challenges running this program is some kids are naturally recalcitrant. So we had to come up with strategies such as keeping in touch with the parents. You know, some may come, they say they are coming for classes,
and they don't come.
So we had to form an effective strategy where we have a roll call system, where if a student is not present in class, maybe the student has dropped out, we ensure we call those parents and ask, your son, your daughter has not been here for 2 days. Where is he? From our statistics. And some parents may say, no, we have dropped him, he has to do something else. So those were one of the challenges we faced. Now, another challenge we faced, you have maybe students meeting up with the financial demands. You know, if you have to encourage students and the rest, these trips cost. So they are costly. So you find out that you have to stretch and the rest and things like that. So, but with respect to, we had to put in strategies, at times even extending into external funding to meet up with the expectations of those that were ready and available for the program.
Coach Emimbela, Brian has just brought up a point of roll calling, direct engagement with the parents. Is this the same implementation at the level of your center?
Since I started teaching children, that's the greatest thing I've never missed. Attendance. And if we go 1 day without the attendance being carried out by the person in charge, she's in problems. You should never joke when you are dealing with children on attendance. As they enter, there's somebody on the door who ticks. As they are going, so our attendants have 2 spaces, inwards and outwards. It's very important. And if you open my bag, you will see now, even at my basketball school, where I have children or adults I teach, I have a book where I carry out attendance on every session. If something happens to somebody, that's where you can start from. You start stressing and start getting where it is. That is very important. Number 2, we deal with the parents 24/7. There's a time where if your father is not coming, then don't come. Because what happens if a father does not know the effort a child uses in putting up something, he will never know some of the things the children do. So in other words, what am I saying? Our parents must collaborate with the children in every activity that happens. And I've succeeded many times. Like I told you, I've run this program for about 10, 15, 20 years. We bring parents, if I'm not mistaken, fortunately last year we saw it during the holidays. The parents came for a session. They were giving the exposure on what their children are doing, the things the children are doing, and the children themselves have to present themselves. And there's one thing I also insist on my facilitators. Don't present the best. That is the Western system that we're being inculcated with. I always tell the children, there is a science I studied that talks about the relationship between giving out and taking in. In one point in time, there are children that when you are giving them information, their graph looks a little bit stagnant. On their x-axis might be improving in terms of the information being given, but their y-axis might be stagnant. That means the graph will go somehow like this. But the author to that concept also said the image received by that child at his subconscious is being related between the y and the x-axis is rising. I hope you get what I'm saying, Mr. Elario. So what happens? What are we fighting now? Is to build that, to break that gap between information given in relation to image imagination. And immediately that child breaks that gap, his graph goes up. So what do? Keep stalking the child with information slowly and patiently, because our reasonings are not the same. Some are fast, some are slow, some are moderate, and when time comes, he will catch it up. I've seen it so many times on the basketball court, where those who were slow, I think they knew nothing. When the day God blesses them that your day has shined, even those who are shining cannot talk when they are there. That is what I'm saying. So we should have to be so patient with children, put the information, and be very consistent on what we do, because the day they shall shine, the next cannot catch them.
I want to come back to you on, let's maybe make some emphasis on the categories of learners that you take. Is it any, the age range?
Yes, we take from 3 to 13 for the morning session, and sometimes we might go in relation to class from 3 years to Form 4, because there's a lot really given. And any person from, for now, no Form 5 and upper 6 are welcomed, because they are supposed to be in school struggling to catch up with exams.
Okay.
And we take lower 6 and university students for another session. And there is something also, we don't have things like that child does not know. If one of my facilitators tells me like that, he is in problem. There is something. Sometimes I, the teacher, too, might be a problem for that child to understand me. So it therefore means every time that child is not understanding, I have to break down my efforts to get that child to understand me. And that is, I always have this saying that God made us all to his own image and likeness. It therefore means there's nobody who is lacking. Mr. Laron, I've been on the basketball court for 35 years. And I've seen man on different forms in terms of information and giving back. And it has taught me a lot that we should not be holding people stagnant with the concept of he's a doorman.
Thank you very much, Coach Emin Bella. I want to come to you, Brian. Now, your program is for the third term period, as far as the third term period is. So let's look at how does the package so far runs within this third term period, your location, situation, and all that.
Now, for the location, it's a little bit controversial for now, but we are working on it. But our venue last year was CUIB, so we are working on it. But definitely, it wouldn't be far from the initial location.
Okay.
So, but for now, our program runs after the GC, because at times there are students who have written the GC, for instance, the Form 5s and the OPSITs, which might be enrolling for the talent area. Like last year, I think we had students from the university, even as much as year 2, taking programs under computer programming and learning a few things. And we had, I think, students even from class 6 coming over to learn something of essence, like their parents wanted them learning music. So we had special programs for them. We had students too in Form 5 that had written that were going to lower seat, also taking from the music classes, and there were a handful of them, though not much, but a handful of them came from other sectors. So it starts from June, that's after the GC, towards the ending periods of June, and ends around the early August periods, such that the kids also have time to rest and have time to prepare for the next academic year in September.
Okay. Coach Mimbela, your programs run, should I say nearly every week or every break?
Yes, we run every Saturday and Sundays from 2 to 5 p.m. for the students, from children between the ages of 3 years to 14, 15, like I earlier said, every Saturdays and Sundays. And then during holidays, we run this program. Sometimes we even run it at the Catholic Church Boyatown.
I just wanted to come to that.
Every Monday.
Last year, every Mondays, it is always at the Boyatown
Parish. And this time, I don't know, we have been a little bit slow on that side, but hopefully we are going to go back on it. Every Mondays on the Boyatown Parish, we are always there too. But every Mondays in the parish, we are also there with elderly persons from the age of about 26, 27, 28 to about 70, 75, who come to do physical exercise with us immediately after Mass.
Okay.
So we start often at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 2 hours. Sometimes we do trekking, seeing boy around before going there. And then during the short holidays, we run camps and they will run programs like this because, like I earlier said, there is no harm introducing to children. Yeah, and during the long holidays, during May period, we take those programs. We run music with musical instruments, like I earlier said. We use pianos. We have about 15 to 20 pianos. We have guitars. We have the jazz band. We have the djembe and the talking drum. Why all this? Because we notice in most of the primary school, in their books, those articles feature, but most of the students have not seen. There was a period of time I was taking this project from one school to the other. When I presented the gong to some classes, the whole class shouted, "Gong!" Oh. You know, the children are not so familiar to this issue.
They have been seeing it on the
drawings. No. They have been seeing it on videos, but they didn't touch it. So that is why we struggle to substitute that aspect of seeing and touching. And then we also have the opportunity for the children to do sporting activities, both at the Boyatown Field and at the youth center. We also have gymnastics, swimming sometimes at the Mountain Hotel. And then we give the children opportunity for excursion. 2 years back, we're at the Dashako Media House, where in Douala. The other time we visited we were at the Pascal Siaka camp. Every year we are privileged to have 3 of our students who are part of that camp. And then we had also visited the University of Douala and some of the factories around that area. And one of the things I want to say, when we go with these children like this, is really amazing, because we take the children, especially from class 4 primary school to the most senior. Sometimes we used to take 60 to 70 of them for that trip. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't know, Brian, any final word to add?
So, I would love to say we could take our time as parents to encourage our students to spend more time in developing their talents. It's not just about academics. With the change in our economy, we must also change too, to solve the common problems of the common man.
And the problem of the common man remains
feeding, money, and
the problem of the common man remains something we cannot identify. Your problem cannot be my problem. Coach Emil Bella, let's get maybe the final word from you.
I want to say we need to multiply activities like this in our communities. We don't need one, we don't need two. The distances are far. There's Moya, there is Mile 16, there is Monaco, there is great support. And then we need all these people involved, because the children count the number of primary schools in our communities. There are many, but the programs that we are running in these communities are less than the primary schools. So we beg for many more stakeholders to come in on this hands-on, please, real hands-on activities. And I want to congratulate Brian for their initiative. I think I saw it worked last year.
Wow.
And they just keep pushing. And things like this are not easy. You just need to be consistent. And then finally, I would say, Mr. Hilarion, if God is with us, who can be against us? That's just our simple, the simple word I would say. So we give everything to God.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. It was a pleasure having you. And of course, as we're ending the program today, we are giving thanks to His Lordship Michael Bibi, the Bishop of the Diocese of Boya, for always giving us the privilege to be on this panel, to talk about education, to talk about schools, to talk about happening as far as learners out there are concerned. Just to tell you, Inside Our School comes up every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the GMR TV, Divine Mercy Radio Television of the Diocese of Boya. At the anchor, I was Hilarion Clinton telling you, a bye-bye from here until we meet again on Tuesday for another edition of Inside Our School. Bye-bye.